Hello Patrick, I'm Igor and I'd like to show you what the levels consist of. So basically each one sits on two terrain tiles. So here's tile number 1 and here is terrain tile number 2. And the camera moves from left to right. So let's say the camera begins here and it will be going along a yellow string, or along a blue string in this case, which sort of spans across the screen towards there. So it will be moving left to right, and you can see the game as being some sort of 3D platformer. So you can basically tilt the phone to move the camera to the right, and the camera will be moving along the blue string sort of to the side like this. So the great thing is that you don't have to worry about decorating anything that's behind, because that's never going to be seen, and nothing above, just strictly pretty much in this region. So we only care about decorations that are immediately right in front of our camera, and we just want to keep the main focus on the road pretty much at all the times. The main concern of mine is that because it's going to be for a mobile device, well, it's not going to be able to be ran on any kind of low mobile devices at all, but I was hoping to get it to maybe a mid-range device such as Samsung Galaxy S4. So I really care about the overdraw. In particular, places that are wide are very difficult for the mobile phone, as you know, because they're being the pixels in those regions are drawing many surfaces at once, every single frame. So the less white we can get, the better would be. So that's the end of level 1, I believe. Yeah, we come out here. Once again, this is pretty much the overview of what we have. And for level 1, just for level 1, there is one extra thing, in that there is a tiny region like this where we would like to navigate the character through. So pretty much just this little sector as well for level 1. Level 2 is a continuation of level 1. It also consists of 2 tiles and it begins from here, right from here, where we pretty much left off in the previous level. So it once again goes left to the right, and the camera is going to be moving along the blue string. We'll be looking at the road, and thing is, it's fairly good looking right now at this level maybe, but it's lacking some sort of details and not enough story, and just looking for something to add coherency to this, to make it look like it's built together and is meant to be the way it is, because some of the things look just disjoint, because that's I don't have artistic skills whatsoever pretty much, but yeah, I've spent quite a lot of things just shaping out the look of the level, but I need your help to improve it. And this is the end of level 2. So the similar sizes are of other levels. Let me see, level 3 is a different thing. It's now a continuation of the previous scene, but now it's during the night. And yeah, we're going to be moving the camera along the yellow string, once again looking at the road, which requires some decorations to be placed, and maybe set up the lighting as well. Lighting is quite expensive for mobile devices, so it's going to be very important to ensure that we don't overuse it. I'm going to also show you later on the particles that I'm using and the assets that I'm using such that you can use them to improve the look of these environments, because all of the assets I already have. This light is just for demonstrations. So it's like a field with lots of skeletons, with mushrooms, and then we come out here, and that's the end of level 3. Level 4 begins from here, but now it's sort of faded out into the day. And we're also going from left to right, climbing onto the tree, walking onto the tree, and the thing is there are some ugly UV scenes here, which I wish we could patch up in some way. The whole thing of this game is to keep the road fairly flat and fairly open, such that we can fit perhaps four of those knights side by side. So not too many decorations shall be placed on the road here, but maybe just to the sides, etc. And here is the ending of this level, right there. So basically he walked into the swamp. And yeah, I'm using backgrounds here. They are just, I don't know how you call them in English, sort of, you know, jagged plane with a tileable texture. Even if you position it sort of to the side, nobody will notice that there is a scene because it's so far away and it's going to be just on a small mobile screen. This continues into another level, which is the jungles, which is the first one that you saw on the demo video, and it's right here. This one I'm very happy about, so perhaps you won't have to do too much work here, or very little of work, because it's fairly complete in my opinion. Maybe just, you know, because it's a swamp, extra decorations such as those grass pieces, you could position them maybe around, but it's up to you, of course. So as you can see, we're mostly placing all of the assets in front of us, and just a little bit of those assets close to the camera, just to add some sort of feeling that the scene is 3D and there is actually something behind the camera, even though there is nothing basically. I'm going to be using occlusion culling, so you don't have to worry about too much worry about positioning things behind each other, because we're making a big circle here around pretty much the pillars, the towers. Most of them are now far behind, and if we were to looking into the overdraw mode, we would see that it's so much white stuff, but because of occlusion culling it's not going to be a problem. We just have to pay attention to close-up regions, so that there are no too much overdraw in the close-up regions. So as I said, I'm very happy about this scene. Pretty much not many things have to be done here. It then continues into the swamp, which is the one with the mushrooms. And here, just in other levels, the lighting looks kind of weird, so we'll have to practice with that. Light maps take several megabytes. We're also trying to reduce the size of the game as it goes onto the mobile device, preferably under 300 megabytes. Currently, with the current build, it takes about 150 megs already. So a light mapping, I think, adds another 20. So it should be fine, we could experiment with it. Light mapping just takes ages on my computer to bake. That's the ending of this level. And then there are a few more. Previous level transitioned into the cave. Cave is right here. It's a little shorter than other levels. So basically go down. There are bushes, roots, doors. Here you can see that, oh, in fact there is yellow string for the camera, but it's messed up on this level, but you still get the idea that the camera is going to be moving left to right, like this. and we want to stay within the cave, so it will be just hugging the wall that is behind us, trying not to clip through it. So here you can just assume that the camera is going to be moving, very close to the back wall, and then diving onto this column. Then the doors will open and the camera will sneak inside of this room. It will then dive into this crypt or dungeon, and after descending here, it will finish this level. It then continues further through the dungeon, which is pretty much of the same size, so it continues from here, goes around, I'm just flying through with the WASD key, so I'm clipping through the back walls constantly. The camera setup is still in process, so I cannot just glide it through, sadly, to show you how it would look like. So WASD are our only option right now. It's going to be 1920 by 1080, so that's the aspect at which the game is going to be played. So it goes up, and then after diving through this tunnel, it would come out, and in this final room it would finish by reaching the ending here. And then the half of the final level, the first half of the final level is here. So we start off basically from getting out from this cave or dungeon, going past, and this level, to be honest, is quite deserted, so it lacks a lot of things. I had spent the least amount of time on it. So after going through deserted mountains, we're coming to a cemetery. So just as always, the width of the road is pretty much 4 knights placed side by side. As you can see, I'm not really caring about positioning things behind because they're not going to be seeing anyways. However, we want to place things not too close to the road, so that the knight and the villagers whom he is escorting are not going to be covered or occluded by things in front of the road. So we're trying to keep the road always in focus. And then finally, the last one. Here I'm sort of unsure because previous scene finished by the entrance to a crypt, but now suddenly we're exiting through the cave, so I don't know, maybe it has to be redesigned. So the main character exits the cave, and if I play the game, it takes ages to start off, but yeah, it started now. In fact, there are errors, so don't care about it. I just wanted to show you how the lava is flowing. The lava is basically flowing using sort of a parallax shader, so it kind of distorts the texture, making it look like it's really flowing. And once again, the camera is going to be following the yellow string across this level, just the way I'm showing you. And after reaching this central ring, it circles it around and then exits through this road onto the cliff from where the characters will be jumping, or off where the characters will be jumping, into the water, and then that's basically the end of the game, where they are coming out onto the sunny beach, and the camera will stop here. so it kind of glides towards us. All of the assets that are available, so you don't have to worry about anything except for building assets, and we have plenty of them. So many of things by BitGem, and all of them are hand painted. Different asset packs which are required. I think altogether they cost about £1,000, maybe 1,500. So quite a lot of things. For example, huts like those ones, dungeon kit, let's see, prison cages, dead trees, things like that. Majority of them are using texture atlases, so they should be okay. Yeah, quite a lot of assets to play with. Texture wise, we don't have to really be bothered about the skybox, except in places where it's really going to be seen, like on the previous level with the mountain and the cemetery, because camera pretty much is not going to be ever looking upwards. Maybe in this level it will be, because main character will be jumping off from the cliff, so you'll see a portion of the sky. But if you just work on the scene, I can then finish the look by introducing a skybox later on. Or in fact, if you feel something is missing and you know that there is an asset, just give me a shout and I can spend up to £100 extra if you feel that there is really a asset which would complete the look that you're striving for. Thank you for looking at this, and I wish to hear from you soon. Goodbye.